All right, guys, I don't know what's going on with the stream settings, if it's going to come live now or not, because it said scheduled for 10:30 a.m. But I brought the Tucker over John's, and he's addressing all the spots, putting some tape on the little spots that I need to go over to make this, like I said, I'm going to make this finish as good as my Thunderbolt was. So we need to get all the woodwork and all the little spots done. That looks like it went live because we got 3 viewers. So a second set of eyes is always better than just yourself. And there's not much here that needs to be done. Just, like I say, we're going over the spots.
They're so small, man, it's hard to even tell what they are, but they're there. And they just may pop when you put clear on it, or... I just want you to just work this area, this little ledge here. I don't know how to mark it.
Well,
one on both sides, and your eye will just go around there naturally. You already know you need to do that, but
the headrest will kind of...
well, it'll cover a little bit of that in the center there, but it won't cover that little point right there where this comes around.
Yeah.
That's about it, man. Outside of that, whatever you're gonna...
I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I think I'd be done with trim. I might, you know...
See, it's on that side, it's not on this side.
Yeah, because...
They only broke off one edge of it.
Because this side is flat and this side is airfoiled.
Yeah.
So what I might do to hide that is, you know, I've changed from the red to the white getup, and it is going to have the Dr. Pepper logo is going to cover this area here in that maroon, and then the 23 will be out there, and then my AMA numbers on the flaps, and the 23 here.
Sort of a race plane.
Yeah, but you know I like scallops, and scallops, red scallops with black outlines really look sharp against white. So if I come back here with a scallop and I bring that scallop around, and then, you know, this rudder.
What about a checkerboard back here?
Well, that would break your eye up. I mean,
a lot of the old race planes, they had checkerboards on them in places, you know, whether it be the nose or the tips of the wings or the fin.
Right. Can you guys hear us okay?
You might look up some old race plane pictures and see what they show, you know, the same basic era of the Tucker.
The 20s, 30s?
Yeah, 20s, 30s. Some of the stuff you just know to fix, so no sense in putting 1,000 pieces of tape on it. This one up here on that side, if you just rub your hand out, we said that you're not gonna do anything with that. But
Yeah.
if you rub your hand out on it, feels like it sort of goes up a little bit into the wingtip, which would probably blend in, but
Ain't nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to put that much putty on it.
I'm just putting spots to take note of. So you pull tape off, address the situation in that spot, and you either deem right then and there whether you're going to do anything or not going to do anything.
Right. You got that hard edge marked on the nose? Yeah. Yeah, I knew there was a spot here.
Yeah.
Because I didn't I didn't use primer.
So slide. This side doesn't have it in it. Those are hard to not do. That's very, very hard. You can very well oversand that and create a worse problem than what was already there.
Can you guys hear us?
Spinner gap's a little tight, but that'll be all right.
Yeah, I can move it forward with the motor. You know, just loosen it up, pull it forward. Ogle out the holes. Yeah.
How I do it. It works fine. I've never had Bill Reynolds has been having problems with props popping off on his Super Tiger 46s and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know why. And I watched him crank down on the prop, and then a run later, the thing popped loose on him.
Do you know why? He's cranking down on the prop and he spread that backer up so that it comes loose. You know, it's mushing it out.
I don't know if I think it's a soft prop. I think the prop wood that it's actually made out of is sort of on the soft side, even though it's like a maple prop or whatever it is. I think the wood's just crashing.
Well,
Yeah, because I watched him tighten it down, man. He cranked on it big time, and I'm like, man, it shouldn't come. None of mine come loose.
well, then put a brass washer inside the prop.
But I say put some sandpaper in
But
there.
that'll work too. But
A couple sandpaper shims on each side of that prop. He might, I've never had a problem with smooth washers on them coming loose just because the washer was smooth, or the nut backer washer was smooth, or anything like that. I've never had a problem with pop loose, but every now and then they'll pop loose, and especially with wood props, just because they do. If you leave your props on your airplanes for months and never do touch them, yeah, eventually they're gonna pop loose and stuff. So, I mean, that's just a given. But just because we put spinners on them, nobody wants to take a spinner off to go in there and check the prop. And of course, do your yield spats.
take it off the foam there. I'll take the foam so they can get an idea what it looks like sitting on its wheels. Well, there's the Tucker, the big Tucker. Does that look like a Tucker? The canopy has been, that's the canopy that we pulled in John's kitchen. If you looked at the canopy thread. And while I was at home, I set it and molded it in. It's now part of the airplane. So far, aside from these few little blue marks, and like I said, I brought it over here.
They don't know what the size is, so we'll just show them what the size is.
Yeah.
Here's a GeoXL. This shows you the size of his Tucker.
It's the same size.
It's the same size. It's a big airplane. This is the big Tucker, the mother Tucker.
Is the same size as the Geo.
It's essentially the same airplane.
It is the exact same airplane. Different dress. That's John's next year's airplane that we built last year, or he built last year. I built mine, he built his.
Might end up having to cut this pipe tunnel around a little bit.
Did you build this one the same time I built my high roller, or the other one?
One of those airplanes, it was essentially the same time.
I think it was.
It's been sitting back there for a while because it was in this stage before you started this airplane.
Right.
So yeah, it was back there for a while. The white's more than aged
Yeah.
and dried. It'll powder right off. I got to do the same thing with this, what you just did with that, because the base color on that's going to be white. I need to go over and pick it apart, and you'll come over here somewhere. I'm in the kitchen mode right now. So,
Yeah, we're gonna put a handle on John's kitchen and fly it pretty soon here.
I got to get that done before I can even work on these airplanes. But,
Yeah, I'll come over and look over John's airplane, put the tape on it, and he'll fix the spots that I find. And then,
really, I can't see much difference in this. The stab is a little bit different. That's about it.
I just have a different shape. They're the same size.
Yeah.
It's the same airplane.
It's the same airplane. It's the same wing. It's the same moments.
No, mine's short,
This is shorter than that one by
2 inches.
2 inches.
17 on that one. Oh, wait a minute. Is it 17 or 18?
I think this is 18.
This is 16.
I think it is.
This is the same numbers as my,
Might be 17 and a half.
yeah, 17 and a half.
17.
Measure this one.
16.
16. The numbers on this are the same as my Junar XL, my orange one that I like so much. And because I'm running the same power plant, it's the exact same airplane. It flies good. So I didn't want to change anything up. I'm looking for this airplane. It might be a little heavier, I don't know, because I'm adding a stupid pilot.
Yeah, there's an ounce and a half.
I should have brought my Mattel
Now, I'll
vacuform.
tell you what, that Williams brother pilot that I did, after I got done with it, weighed about a half an ounce.
Yeah, but I'm using the big pilot.
Yeah, I know, you're gonna weigh an ounce.
I wish Tommy Looper would carve me a big pilot for this one.
Well, you get working on that little CNC machine that you got there, maybe you can grind you one out.
I doubt it.
Somebody might already have a program out there for that that'll.
But this Tucker's not going to have wheel pants because wheel pants add a substantial amount of weight. So I went with the wheel doors.
For half the weight.
Yeah, for half the weight.
Probably all beat up.
Well, I've been beating on that for 4 years with my stick.
Yeah, we're gonna do a tutorial on the proper way to backflip a motor.
Yeah.
Nobody, well, there's a few people that do, but most people do not know how to properly backflip a motor. And they do it wrong every time, and they're gonna get bit. You'll get bit just as well as pulling it through the compression this way. But if you backflip it the right way, you will never get bit. Never.
You know, up there in Columbus or Cleveland, my Tucker, Bob, and I knew better. You should have been helping me. Bob McDonald was helping me, and it was early in the morning, and I couldn't get it lit off, and I didn't have my chicken stick, and I flipped it with my finger. It got me.
Like ever living crap, and that's typically the time they'll do it is then. They won't do it after you've got it up and running and it's been warmed up. It was cold. I had to break out an electric starter on my profiler. I never used an electric starter. I flipped and flipped and flipped for half an hour. Of course, I didn't have any lighter fluid. It was a big mistake. It was extra cold that morning, and there was frost on the ground. So
Now you guys pay attention to what he said. Lighter fluid. If you can't get it started in the morning, use lighter fluid as a primer.
yeah, just put it right in the Venturi and put her in there and flip her over and put it in there like you would a prime. And it'll fire it off and it burns away. It won't hurt the motor. It won't scar up the piston and line or anything like that. It burns off just like that, but it lights it up and gets some warmth in there, and then things will start glowing. I think it might take a little bit of the crud out of the glow plug, thin it out to where I think that's a lot of problems with these upside down motors. You know, you set them on their landing gear and all that oil goes right down there in the glow plug. When you start them up first thing in the morning, then, or, you know, I've seen guys burping their airplanes all day long. I've never really had to do that unless maybe you had a 6-hour wait between flights or something like that. You might want to burp one to get the oil out of the plug, but I mean, that's why they burp them, is just so that they know when they go out there to the line, they're going to get a one flip starter.
Yeah, I always get one flip start. I mean, very.
Yeah, 1, 2 at the most, you know.
Sometimes it'll go south and you have to flip. I don't understand
But
why.
you get a routine and stick with the routine and do exactly the same thing, whether you're practice flying or you're at a contest or you're doing a demonstration, whatever you're doing, do the exact same thing every single time and you'll get consistent runs. Same way with using a tack. Of course, Sparky doesn't like tack, but I believe in it.
My tech is
And what was that sound again?
I listened for it. Of course, I got 2 tacks, and what did I win in Cleveland as a door? Another tack.
It's telling him something.
Yeah.
It's telling him something. And now with my PAs, I use a tack religiously. It is crucial. 100 RPM can be the difference between running a 4.9 second lap or a 5.2 lap. It seems like that much. With these cheap tacks that don't work really, really well, you know, they tend to jump around 200 or 300 RPM on the scale as you're sitting there watching them. You just sort of hit and miss a sort of central spot to whatever the numbers are. Seems to be close enough. I wish I could get one of those old tacks, the TNC tacks or whatever. They're sort of bulky, but
They work
they
good.
work good. But lo and behold, I don't believe they even make those anymore.
Well, that's about it. I just wanted to show you where we're at on the Tucker, what I'm doing. Like I say, over John's.
You need to spend an hour or two over here on a buffing wheel on that thing.
Yeah. Marking out the crap spots.
Get it all prettied up.
Well, that next year.
It's got a piece of tape on it. It's got a piece of tape on it.
That ain't the prop that's going on there. This is my next year's Nats plane if it flies good. It's got a lot of custom parts on it. Got a custom made tail wheel.
Custom made spinner.
My smoker's even got a custom made tip on it now. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share the video, and might be on later on tonight while I'm sanding. See ya. Bye.